All right, hello everyone. Welcome to another BDPA Tech and Career Talk. I am your National Tech and Career Talk leader, Devin Jenkins, founder CEO of Share the Vibes LLC, also our US and Canada and patient care solutions business, IT business relationship manager at GE Healthcare. So glad to have you with us. We're excited for another conversation today, all around tech innovation, tech startups, and an opportunity for those with innovative tech ideas to bring those to BDPACon this year, present them in our annual From Idea to Launch pitch competition, and ultimately have a chance to get some funding and resources to bring those ideas to reality. So I'm excited for today's conversation. This is one that can definitely be beneficial for you specifically, and those you know who are innovative and have great ideas in the tuck. So we're looking forward to today's conversation. Before we jump in, just a little bit of background for those who may not be familiar with BDPA and what we do or this platform. So BDPA, Black Data Processing Associates, organization started in 1975 as a way to continue to build the African American talent pipeline in the technology industry. We have a focus on building computer skills, development skills, professional development, everything that our young people need to thrive in this industry at the middle and high school level. And then that carries over into the collegiate level as well as the professional realm for those who are currently working in the industry and have these full roles, or maybe even retired. But we provide opportunities to continue developing your skills, building your network, and giving back to those behind us so that we continue to advance careers from the classroom to the boardroom. So you heard me say we were founded in 1975. So this is our 50th year, 50th anniversary, golden anniversary for BDPA. So it's an exciting year, big things planned, and we are excited for all that's in store. With that being said, the big deal this year, we're looking forward to one of our best conventions, one of our best conferences yet. Our national BDPA conference, BDPACon, will be in Atlanta at the Westin Peachtree Plaza, August 13th through the 16th. So make sure you register. Register right now. The link is in the chat, conference.bdpa.org. Very simple, conference.bdpa.org. I think you may have already missed the super early bird registration, but we do have early bird registration going. So get it now while it's the cheapest it's going to be. So get it in and make sure you join us there in Atlanta in August. We're going to have a great time. Have a great lined up plan for you, and more will be coming out around that. So make sure you're following National BDPA on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. Make sure you're in the mailing list and getting all the communication so you don't miss out on what's planned for this year. So excited to have you there. Like I say, the link is in the chat. We'll drop it on you again at the end. If you're on YouTube, like, share, subscribe, comment below. Send this to somebody who needs to hear this. Let's spread the word. So thank you for joining us today. Thank you for tuning in on YouTube. We're looking forward to a great conversation. So with that being said, I'm going to give the floor to our speaker for today, Mr. Johnny Sneh, who is no stranger to our platform. Outside of our national president, he might be our most recurring visitor for the Tech and Career Talks. I'm not sure, but he's been with us for a number of years now, having some great conversations on different topics. So I'm going to give it to Johnny to get us going here today with a few things on his side. So Johnny, you have the floor.
All right, let me see if I can share my screen here.
All right, you should be able to share now. Is it giving you the option to share now?
Yeah.
Okay,
There we go.
great, perfect. You're on mute, Johnny. We can't hear you. Looks like you were talking good too, so I don't want you to get too far ahead.
Okay, here we go.
Yep.
Good. I think it's because I did it. All right. So, like I said, it's really excited to be here. I know a lot of the people that are going to be in this competition are also in college. So I know you guys have courses right now, and you reached out to us and you let us know you can't be on this call. I believe Devin is recording this call, so you're gonna replay this as recording. Um, I'm going to be talking about the competition today at the conference. This is a pretty amazing conference for, recent college grads, I believe, seniors going into college. It's really good for mid career folks that are making a transition, maybe from a marketing or sales or some sort of other role into technology. So I think this is big for that. And then also, I think it's a great opportunity as well, right, Devin, for founders, right? Startup founders. You will get to have an opportunity in this pitch competition that we're gonna speak about. But more so, you're gonna also have an opportunity to speak with some executives from different organizations. I believe we have Eli Lilly comes every year, Cardinal Health comes every year, Dev GE comes, right? Some folks from GE come, State Farms, just as a startup to speak to some of these executives and some of these leaders like Devin and himself that are within these organizations. I think it's a really big deal, right? So I'm excited for this conference, and then just to talk a little bit about who I am. It's going to be less about me and more about the organization because we're going to talk about the price, right, for the pitch competition, and the prize comes with some services from my organization, so I thought it would make sense. So my name is Johnny Sneh. As you guys know, I'm a strategic account executive. I am a technology advisor to CxOs. CxOs can be a CIO, CEO, CTO. So some of the leaders of some large organizations. My company, we have about 2,000 plus resources worldwide. We've been in business for about 40 years. We have 10 global locations, North America, Europe, India, some of Hyderabad, India, with some of our resources, and in the UK and also in Latin America. So we have 10 global locations as well. And from a technology perspective, we like to focus on a industrial focus model, right? So we break our thought process up into, as a consultant, a strategic consultant, we break our thought process up into the core industry. So we have healthcare, utilities and energy, BFSI, which is banking and financial services industry, retail and distribution. So that's what you'll see, like your Ralph Lauren's, your Campbell's of the world. And then we have these things called growth industries. And growth industries are, you can call them like the startup industries. There's going to be growth. You can look at some of the non-traditional industries, state and government, NGOs, that's trying to push the communication industry. We look at those as growth industry. The industry, the travel industry. So you look at stuff like Marriott Vacations, American Airlines, Travel and Hospitality, the cruise lines, Carnival Cruise, Norwegian Cruise. So we work with some of those ones, and they were in our growth industries. And this is very important because as you speak about your career, you can either come from the tech side, like some of us, Devin and I, or you can come as a subject matter expert from one of these industries, right? Some of you have some really good retail and distribution background, right? So you can come, if you're switching, for those of you that are switching careers, you can come from those industry and bring a lot of knowledge to the technology in this side, because as a strategic tech consultant, I have to also get industry knowledge in order to enable to be able to advise and do good advisory on the platform, on the technology for that company. So don't ever feel like you're coming in too late. For those of you that are coming out of college, again, very good for you to look at technology, but also it's such a key differentiator when you look at technology and you look at industry. Industry is really big. So for us, we focus on vertical practices. As I just told you, these are our 5 verticals, or it's 4 core verticals and 1 is growth. And then we create what's called a transformation framework. So it's around which set of technology can be applied. So you have things like integration technology, you have data and AI technology, you have Gen AI technology, you have the big infrastructure for big data technologies. So now you apply these sets of technologies to that industry. And I'll slow down there to making sure that makes sense. Again, then, because if you're doing a transformation value framework, there's a business value, it then goes to like the technology competency. Like I told you, AI, data, business application, intelligent automation, integrations, platform, and testing, right? So you look at this and we go across 3 lines, right? So when I'm thinking, I'm talking to my customers, I'm either talking to you, the clients, I'm thinking about, is this technical capabilities? Are we trying to add transformative value? And then what are the business results, right? So you can look at it from like a company that says, we're a retail company, and now because of all this online transitions, we want to become a digital retail company where we're focusing on online and digital. We want to put some Gen AI into that, right? So you have those organizations that say, I want to create this digital customer and this digital experience. You have some folks that say, we're not digital, we're GE Health, we still have we're still setting these consumer products out, but as an enterprise, we want to be a digital enterprise. Okay. And then you have the organizations that said, I want to do digital operations. How do we take our ops line? How do we take our sales team, infrastructure team, inventory team, supply chain, and we completely make that digital, right? And then you have digital IT. So these are the different. So we're trying to drive business growth from these 3 things, right? So if we're doing any of this and it's not decreasing costs, increasing revenue, or making you competitive, then we don't really do that. So in short, that's sort of my spiel and how I look at things. So Deb, I'm gonna let you start sharing your screen and sharing the slide, and then I'm gonna ask the team, the folks on here. I know some of you that are not on here and are in class, you won't be able to ask me those questions now. Maybe you can send an email to Devin later. But do you guys have any questions around sort of what I just said? Around what does it mean to be a strategy consultant or work at a company where you're managing both consulting and implementation, or if any of you are thinking about that. I think before we get to this, right, Dev, I think another thing I should mention within this side of the strategy consulting, you have folks like myself, who's like the technology advisors, who's like the principal advisors on the accounts, right, to the clients. But under me, there's a whole list of folks. There's my I have an integration, offering manager who's like the tech lead for integration. I have an automation offering manager, which is strategy side. Then I have implementation delivery team, right? So I have a project manager on a delivery team. Within that delivery team, I have industry experts for delivery. I have test expert. I have test automation. So when we make the delivery, we have to run it into test. Then I have an assurance team that's going to manage all of the risk when these projects go into production. So it's a pretty large team per client and per account, and you're having different conversations at different level. So if you guys are looking to go into a firm where you're doing implementations, or you want to go into a firm where you're doing consultants, we compete with the likes of Infosys, Boston Consulting Firm, Deloitte Technology. So we're competing with some big guys, and we're still making headway. So I'll stop there and see if anyone have questions about sort of what I do before we get into the competition.
If there are any questions, feel free to unmute, or you can drop them in the chat. And if you think of any later, you can put those in the chat as well.
Okay, so I like that, Mr. Clarence. You said you didn't make it into Liberia yet, but your wife is still there. Thank you for combining that. As some of you that have been on previous call, I am from Liberia originally, and I do have a startup that was launched in Monrovia, Liberia, and we had to kind of cool off on the startup infrastructure now due to some government intervention. We're waiting for like a year for stuff to cool down. This is like a typical startup journey, by the way, when you're in Africa. But I definitely will reach out to your wife and see how she's doing there. And I'm actually going back for some executive meeting with some government officials like 3rd week of April. So thanks for letting me know that. I will ping up with you. I don't have your number, so if you want to ping Devin and give him, so Devin can give you my number, you can ping me. So we'll make it on the same page. Thanks, Clarence. So do you so yes, in the chat, do we have any questions about like career? It'll be good too if people post like, while they're on this call, what they want to get out, so that I make sure I'm hitting all the key points. That would be awesome as well. Okay. So it sounds like no questions, Devin. Should I keep going, or should we give people 2 or 3 minutes to see if they have questions?
Yeah, we'll keep going. And then as questions come up throughout the conversation, we'll circle back at the end.
All right, awesome. So this BDPA entrepreneurship pitch for some of you again that are not online that will be registering for this. For some, we have a registration link for this too, right, Dev?
Yes.
Okay, so we can pitch the put the registration link. This is going to be a really fun competition. We had this last year, and it was intense to the end, and we had a lot of lessons learned last year. So that's why Devin and I kind of set it up like this year to give you guys some heads up. We're looking for three types of companies and three types of people in this pitch, right? The first one we're looking for is some people that have their opportunities in idealization stage. Like you have this really cool idea for your company, you want to put it together, you put a pitch together, and you come and you register it and you bring it to the kickoff in March 2025. Registration open. You're gonna bring it to the April session. During that April session, we're gonna do a selection of those that are gonna make it to the conference. Those that are going to make the conference, we're going to have another session in May, between May and July, where we're going to help you prep for the judges. And then from there, we're going to have the finalists in Atlanta. And when you come to Atlanta on the first day, there's going to be everyone that made it through the prep session. You're all going to get in the competition on the first day. And Devin will send this information out later. Okay? On that first day, it's the first day of the pitch contest. After the grand opening and the CEO and all these big wigs speak, then we're going to start our pitch contest in a breakout room. Once we do this first part of the pitch contest, we're going to bring it from whatever number it is to the top five. Okay? The top five is 5 or 6. I think it's 5, right, Devin?
Yeah, we said 5.
Yeah. So the top 5 then makes it to the final day of competition. Okay? And out of that top 5, we're going to place top 3. And out of the top 3 place, top 2 is going to get our stuff in return. And again, we are working on another thing for the top 2, and we are working on something else for the top 3 in terms of technology licenses. So I'm working on that on the back end. That's not fully announced yet. We're going to talk today about the rewards that are announced. So again, to be a part of this competition, you can be in 3 different phases of a technology startup. You can have a regular business and add a technology component for it. We're not evaluating regular businesses that do not have some sort of a technology component. Okay. We want your business to embed some tech, even if it's like you have a barbershop, but you build an app so that people can go online and book appointments, right? You're a DJ and you book something with, so we want some technology acumen on it because everything we have with the prices goes with technology. Okay. So again, if your idea is in idealization stage, in other words, you just came up with the idea, you're putting the deck together, you're getting prepared, you think this is going to be a really big idea, you think it's going to be a really big use case, this is when you pitch this to us. You're going to let us know in April. You're going to register today on the link, and you're going to pitch it to us in April, so that we know, what you can do and what you have. Okay. The second one is that you've already pitched this and you have results. It's early. It's in you have a demo. You haven't hit the market yet, but you have a demo, right? So that's like I got my demo, I have my prototype. That's in like we call those phase 2. Okay. And then the final one is phase 3. Phase 3 is I've ran this. When I present to you guys, I'm going to show you data. I'm going to show you revenue. And I'm going to show you that I have the best solution. And with the investment from the first place prize, it's going to help me push me to the top. We are looking, the judges. I am one of the judges, one of the finalist judges. And I think it's 3 of us. Is it 3 or 4 of us, Devin, this year? Last year was 3.
Yeah, it would more likely be 3. Like to have an odd number.
Yeah. So the 3 or 4 of us, we are going to make a final decision on a rating scale, right? There's like 5 different questions we're asked about your platform, and it's really fair and it's really fun because last year in the final two people that went head to head were a technology that's been running for a year and a technology that was in idealization stage, didn't even build a demo yet. Okay. So we do not base your idea on if you've launched already. We base it more on the concept, the potential for the concept, and the reality of the concept. Okay. Does that make sense for everybody that's online? Those things I said in terms of the concept and what we're basing it on.
Yes.
Okay. We are looking at the concept you have and how you deliver it to us. You have to practice your presentation skills because you can have a pretty slick idea. Like I felt really bad last year. There's I won't say it's a male or female, but I would say there was a participant that I thought had a really amazing idea, and because I'm a technologist, when this person, he or she, was presenting, um, I was looking at it, I was like, oh my God, this is such a good idea. But the other two judges didn't get it. So this person didn't make it to the top three. And it was really sad because I think in reality, with the funds that we gave last year, if we do a return of all those companies, I think they would have been one of the top if you look at real results, right? But this person could not articulate themselves. They had such a good idea. Their idea was around uh I think I can share it, right, Bev?
Think so. Start revealing proprietary information, I guess.
Yeah. So anyways, I might reveal too much proprietary innovation. Anyways, I won't say it, but their idea was so good, right? Their idea was an idea that, if they came to our innovation hub with some Gen AI, some back end prompts and some integration, I think they probably do like $600,000 or $700,000 of revenue in the first year of gross revenue. Like it was a really solid idea. However, it didn't go anywhere because they couldn't communicate. So, in other words, practice your communication. Know that everyone that's going to be a judge is somewhat in tech, but not everyone is in tech. All right. For example, one of our judges last year worked for a technology company, but he was an accountant in the technology company. So if you get super technical on him, you're not going to get over. At the same time, you have to at least know your technology enough because you have me. I'm a judge, and I'm gonna call you out on your bullshit. So, just so no, like understand what you're presenting, know the concept, and know what you want it to be. Make sure you have passion for it, and make sure you thought it through from start to finish. If you're a company that's already in production, you're a little bit more lucky because you're in production and we can see what you've done. But if you're in the idealization stage and you want to make it to that top five, final five round, you really have to convince us that you've thought about this, you thought about the product, you thought about a marketing strategy, and then you thought about technology strategy. Okay. The other thing I will mention too during your presentation is make sure there's a part there, if not a slide, that tell us if you win first place, what are you actually going to do with the funding? If you take second place, what are you going to do with the funding? Okay, because first place is really big. A lot of organizations don't give this kind of money out in first place, right? We're basically giving you $10,000, $12,000, right? We're giving you $4,000 in cash money that you can use on whatever you want. And then we're giving you $8,000 of idealization, strategy, development, implementation time. You're literally going to have a project manager from Prolifics, if you choose to be on there. The first place winner gets to work with the chief technology officer of Prolifics in what we call our innovation hub. Now, our innovation hub at Prolifics, we typically give it to a company that's spending more than $2 million in revenue with us a year, right? Because we put a lot of efforts on their company. What can they do different? What can they do new? This is where we're putting this first place winner. So we're treating you like a top tier Prolifics client, right? And when you get there, you can already have a product and you're like, listen, what I want to do with this product is I want to push it for X, Y, and Z. And this is the first year, right, Devin? Because of the 50-year anniversary, this is the first year that a technology consulting company is doing this, where we're saying we want a first place winner where if he's in idealization stage, let's start building stuff. If they already built stuff, let's see how we can enhance it and do strategy with them. And we're throwing a lot of money at this too because we really want to see whoever this first place person is succeed. Second place person, you get $1,000 to your organization. We're not telling you how to spend your money, okay? But we're telling you that we want to know how you are going to spend it. Please don't put in that slide that you're going to have a whole party for your office with $1,000. That's not who we want to give money to, right? We want to give money to people who are like, oh, we have some marketing bills. Like I have some AWS bill because I'm using AWS thing, right? Our Google Suite is our email suite. It's in it's Gmail, so we're paying for a professional Gmail suite. So that's what I think it's like for a startup. It's like what $15 a month. So $15 a month times 12, right? So now, guys, you guys checked up my Google Insight bill. You checked up. We want to know why, what you're gonna do with this money, and what you're gonna do with the experience. Okay, does that make sense, guys? So this is a very exciting opportunity. Just so you guys know, when I had my startup SNS, we went for a pitch competition. It was only $5,000 price. It was like 30 freaking companies. We had like 6 presentations. They were going into our financials. It was so difficult. This is not what this is. We're not going into your financials. We want to know if you do have financials that helps your case, but we do want to know what's the idea, why you're building it, how does it execute, what are the results, who are you helping, who are the clients, and if you already have it built, what are some of the results you have now? Where do you see the gap? Want to know that you've thought about this fully and you fully understood this. So again, make sure you register today. In May, we'll have a high-level pitch conversation with you. It'll probably be Devin and team. I will jump in a little bit. I would say a little bit to each team. I won't say it a lot because I'm not allowed to coach you. I'm not allowed to coach you because I'm a judge. Okay. So I can coach at a very high level. I can coach in terms of like your strategy, what it should be, but I cannot coach you in terms of like exactly what you have to have on the slide because I will also be one of the final judges. Okay. So again, very important. You have to sign up now. So and get your pitch deck ready, or at least what your company does. Be able to describe that within less than 80 words, 100 words, 120 words. You should be able to describe what you do. That's how we're going to pick the first round that we allow to present on the first day. Okay? Um, if you don't have an idea yet, you still have a lot of time. Look at different things in your neighborhood that you can do. You can do things like school finders for college kids that they're looking for schools. You can do things like FIFA World Cup is coming up, Super Bowl is in your city. You can try to find ideas around that, cultivate ideas around that. If there's something, if you have a salon and you always thought about a nice, cool concept to do like home services, but let like women, like girls, whoever needs to use the salon, like kind of uh, um, um, use that home service. You have that opportunity to do that. You have a few months ahead to register it and register your idea so we can hear it. And so again, first place gets total comp of $12,000. $4,000 is cash. $8,000 is implementation services. It could be implementation, strategy, or solution services. Then second place, you get $1,000 in cash. Then the first place team, based on what chapter you're from, because we have BDPA chapter, your chapter is going to get $1,000, and that's for us to get the chapter to get some funding to help for the next year's presentation. If you're not registering a chapter, you don't have to be. We're just going to take the next chapter place because we are placing first to third. We're pretty confident that one of the chapters will take that. So if a chapter is not in the top 3, we're just going to give it to wherever the winner comes from chapter. So if you register from Philadelphia, you won, we'll give it to the Philly chapter. If you register from Atlanta and you want, we'll give it to the Atlanta chapter. But we do know that wherever your company is registered, by the way, wherever your startup is registered, where you register, we do know that last year, the top 5, 4 of them was from chapters. The top 3, 2 from chapters, and 1 was not from a chapter. So we sort of have the backup for how to do that. So I'll pause there and see if anyone has any questions.
Okay. Any questions on the line? You could come off mute and ask your questions at this time. or if you would like to put your questions in the chat, that is an option as well. Watching on YouTube, of course, so we can't hear your questions, but put them in the comments and we'll definitely reach back out to you. But any questions at this time or comments? Okay. And if in case you're thinking of anything, just to add a little bit of context. So this will be our fourth annual FI2L pitch competition. I've been our coordinator for this from BDPA. Our first 2 years, we did this in collaboration with NSBE actually. And then last year, we just did it as BDPA, and we're doing it as BDPA this year as well. But yeah, this is an excellent opportunity to build the entrepreneurial arm of our BDPA membership. So anyone from your students up to your professionals can participate in this as long as there is a good quality idea to present in this forum. So if you have ideas, please scan that QR code that's on the screen right now. If you're watching this on YouTube, scan the QR code. That takes you directly to the registration form to actually apply for this year's competition and get in there. It's not anything crazy. You should be able to get through it, relatively quickly. The longest question is probably describing what your business is. So QR code right here on the screen takes you to the application, and you can literally sign up today, and then we'll follow up pretty soon on next steps. But yeah, this is our fourth year. We're continuing to evolve this, make it bigger and better each year, giving better prizes, more incentive to come participate. And we're super excited to have Prolifics on board as a sponsor this year to give you, 40 hours of additional assistance resources to continue to build out your idea and actually develop it into reality. Because the program is from idea to launch. So this is truly giving you resources and a support system to take those innovative tech ideas to launch. So we're excited for this year's competition. This is a great addition with our 50th anniversary going on and how big this conference is going to be. We have to match the bar and make this big as well. And we know chapters are the backbone of BDPA. So we wanted to give an investment into the chapters that support our winner this year also. So wanted to give a little bit of context as the competition coordinator. But yes, if there are any questions or comments, please drop them in the chat. Come off mute right now. We'll address them. So I'll just give a little
So
bit of time just in case there's anything.
one thing I would say, Devin, that I think I didn't mention is it's actually two things, right? First thing is we're gonna put this online, right, Devin? We should put it on LinkedIn and all that stuff, right? And then let's put a link too. So some people are not good at scanning QR codes, but they should just click the link. I know for this meeting, a lot of people are asking me for the link.
Yep.
And then the second thing is too, for some of you that are coming there and you're in your career change, right? And you're like, oh, like these are a lot of amazing companies that are going to be at this thing. I want them to see me. Our executives, and they are at this conference, it's going to be a lot of recruiters. The recruiters have sessions, right? All of our executives sit in the final session for this competition. So I remember last year our winner actually got a final interview from this session because one of the recruiters came and they were like, "Hey, can I have an interview with you after this?" So it's not just for you to. A lot of you are going to take your resumes and you're going to have a conversation with the recruiters. It looks a little different if you make it to day two, the finals day, and you're one of those top five presenting. At that, it's another buffer to your resume. It adds you to the recruiter list. There's just a lot of eyes on this, and there's a lot of folks that are in the room when you're doing this. You never know, there could be an additional investor that can love your idea so much they want to invest more than we're giving you. So I think it's a really fun idea. Come ready with a resume if you're coming out of college. Come ready with your resume if you're transitioning from one job to another. So yeah, I just want to mention that those two part, Dev.
Thank you for that. Any questions or comments from anyone?
Hey, Devin, it's Charissa. I have a quick question. So the contest is only available to members of BDPA?
No, no. The answer is content is available to anyone.
Oh, okay.
However, yes. So we have a place winner for we have a $1,000 budget that we're going to give to a BDPA chapter. So the first way we're going to do this
Gotcha.
is outside of the first 3 places. If a BDPA chapter is within any of those places. So if the first place winner is from a BDPA chapter, they are automatically going to get that prize, right? But if the first place winner
Okay.
is not a BDPA member, then we're going to look at the second and third place. Okay. If second and third place, if there's no BDPA chapters in the top 3 rankings out of the 5, we look at the 4 and 5. If there's not in the top 5,
Okay.
we look at that number 1. We go back to that number 1, that one. Let's say that person registered from Atlanta, but didn't register with a chapter. Atlanta chapter automatically gets that. And the reason why we're doing it, yes, the reason why we're doing this is so that each chapter preps their individuals, preps their candidates, so they at least get top 3. Because we want the chapter involved in prepping you. Devin and I are going to do those 2 calls that we spoke about, right? In terms of, hey, this is what a presentation should look like. We might look at each individual presentation and say, hey, you might want to tweak it here. But we can't go in and say, the results don't look right. The font doesn't look right. We can't do that because we're also judges.
Right.
Like I'm a judge, right? So what we want now is and you guys can get this message out to the chapters. We want each chapter to take a candidate and say, well, okay, well, these 5 look great for us. We want to get these 5 to the top 5 and like help with the presentations, maybe help with some work on how they're delivering it, right? Practice with the team, saying if it makes sense, what doesn't make sense, to get their chapter into that top 3 so that chapters themselves are competing for that $1,000 prize.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
Okay.
Great question, Charissa. Any others?
And Devin, that was clear, right? I didn't speak out of turn there, right?
No, I think that was fair. Yeah, I think the only thing that we don't require you to necessarily be a BDPA member. You just have to register and attend the conference. And we know that the conference is open to whoever would like to attend. So.
Is there a special member rate for the conference? Is that what the difference is?
Yeah, I think there is a member rate for the conference. Actually, I don't remember exactly what the difference is, but I know I think life members can actually register for free. So if you're a BDPA life member, you definitely need to register. And if you are a member, I believe there is a bit of a discount compared to non-members. So there is some incentive for members. Yes. Okay. Anything else from the group?
I just think that for all the students, for everyone that's on this call that are going to apply for this, good luck. I wish you the best of luck. For other students that's going to apply, I know some of you reached out to me and say, hey, I can't get on now because I have a course at that time. Best of luck when you get this link and you sign up. Do not worry. I am not as difficult as I look. A lot of people in the competition last year was really afraid of me. I am not a bad judge. I'm a little harder on you because I am looking to see that you understand your company. And I'm not going to ask you any question that a VC won't ask you. I'm just going to ask you the questions that I was asked when I had my startup. And some of you know I raised about $600,000 with my startup, with $300,000 for myself. So we raised about close to $1 million for my platform. So I know how to raise money. So I'm going to be asking some of those key questions about your audience, about your customer segment, about when they buy, how they buy, and how the technology is helping. So when you're doing this application, think about that. How are you applying the technology? Who are you reaching? How are you going to reach them? What's the market segment? What's the pricing? Just think about those specific investment ready questions. So it's not hard, but it's tough, right? I want to make sure you know what you're talking about when you come talk to us.
Thank you, Johnny. Anything else from the group? Okay. Well, if not, in the chat, I put the actual link for the FI2L pitch competition application. It's like I say, it's a Google form, so it's pretty easy to fill out. So that's in the chat. The QR code was on the screen throughout the conversation as well. If you would like to watch this recording as well as any of our previous Tech and Career Talks, they are on our website, bdpa.org/Tech and Career Talks, or you can just go to YouTube, National BDPA is the channel. All the Tech and Career Talks are out there. So this will be on our YouTube channel, and you may be watching this on YouTube right now. So thank you. Then also BDPACON25. Make sure you register. Register now. We will be in Atlanta August 13th through the 16th. That's where this competition will be going on, as well as many of our other things going on, our IT showcase, our gala, and everything else that we always like to do. There'll be great speakers, great workshops, the different academies. It's going to be a phenomenal experience. So make sure you're in the room for our 50th anniversary celebration conference this year. So thank you all for joining and listening in today. Thank you for watching on YouTube. Again, like, share, subscribe, comment, share this with somebody who needs to hear this. If you are an entrepreneur out there, if you have a great tech idea and you're like, I don't really quite know how to get this off the ground, but I know it's special. Hey, this is an opportunity to get you some hands-on resources and support to make that a reality and get the idea in front of a 50-year organization with a global network of resources to help you make that a success. So we're excited to have you. We look forward to working with you, and we'll see you on our next Tech and Career Talk. Until the next one, stay safe, stay blessed.